Hello everybody, just waiting to be allowed to get on YouTube because there's always seems to be a little bit of a wait. But anyway, good morning Matnats, good morning Sharon, glad you made it Elaine. It's been a crazy week, and as I said, I was hoping to be able to do a destash today, but unfortunately it was impossible. I mean, I wasn't able to recover after Monday's lack of sleep, and then Wednesday came along, and we had pretty much thunderstorms since early morning, and I'm talking about like 4:30 in the morning till late after midnight, and took me a couple days to recover. So yeah, I'm finally recovered pretty much. I managed to sleep well enough. I need to get my house back in order because we had all the I'm looking at Finnegan. We had all the arrangements made to get in the closet, me and the three babies. And I got asked, what do you do with the cats? How do you get the cats in the closet? Yeah, it's been a bad spring. And I said I used to, before I had Finnegan, and when the ginger twins were young, I used to just put them in cat carriers, and then the dogs were still alive. And we would all go in the closet. My house is a double brick house, and I don't have a storm shelter, but I have an inside closet that's pretty much in the middle of the house. I think my house can survive an F3. I'm not sure about an F4 or F5, but hopefully that will never happen, at least not in my lifetime. Hi, Wendy. And now what I do, because it's impossible to put the two big ones in the carrier, and Finnegan has a little bit of PTSD about carriers because last time he was in carriers, he was in and out of ERs, veterinary ERs, and then he was in the hospital for like 3 days and all that. Hi, Karen. So what I do now, they all have harnesses and leashes, and I just herd them in the closet, and they sit there with me. And Finnegan right now has the zoomies. So if you ever see a fluffy cottontail floating somewhere in the back there, that is Finnegan. There you go. There was him. Because he can only use that litter box only when I'm here. If I'm not here, he's not using it. There you go. He just moved some litter back and forth, and then he jumped out. But anyway, and this affected a lot my creativity. Hi, Linda. And what I can tell you, it's been really hard lately, and I know I'm not the only one, because the whole world seems to be just so negative and so bad, and we are being practically assaulted with bad news and bad stuff from all over the place, and you can't really cut yourself off the news completely because, oh, it's Mother's Day today. Happy Mother's Day. I wasn't aware. Oh, it's tomorrow. I have no idea. I don't keep up with the Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day and all that. See, not even with Valentine's Day, because my thing is about all these national days of something. You know, if you don't cherish whatever that day is celebrating for the rest of the year, making shows of cherishing it that day is just nothing. It's just for commercial stuff. Yeah, and that's the deal. We had a lot of rain. We actually had some flood. Hold on a second. Yeah. No, he ran away. I'm trying to catch him to show you the floof. Connor, come here. Because people haven't seen you in a while. Come here. Come to Mama. Yes. You're a gorgeous boy. There you go. This is Connor. I know. I love you too. This is the other floof. But he's very big. He is very, very big. And very heavy. He's like 18 pounds. And he's a good specimen of Maine Coon mix. And he's my lover boy. He spends hours just staring at me. Yeah? Okay, let's go up. So yeah, we had a lot of rain. We had what was Monday in the storms, then we had Tuesday rain, and then we had Wednesday a big wave of storms in the morning, and then towards 3 o'clock in the afternoon we had another wave of storms, and this time they were tornadic. And you probably read in the news we had some crazy tornadoes. I mean, we had something happen that has never been recorded before, with a tornado that actually went like this and then went and made a loop and then petered out, and then another one came back up like a mile or two and continued like that. But it was crazy. Destroyed a school, an academy, local academy that was put out by some charitable foundation, and they had a lot of buildings that were erected on the spot and movable, and those were destroyed. And it showed, I still remember they were showing at one point it went through a marijuana farm, and it was just ripping all those greenhouses. And then it went through a trailer park, and you can see the trailers being toppled. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Wendy. Oh, I already said hi, Wendy. Never mind. And I've been trying. I went yesterday afternoon. It was a little bit drier outside, and I was able to go out and clean a little bit the yard. My neighbor's going to come this afternoon, hopefully, if it dries out enough, to do some mowing, because everything is growing like crazy right now. I mean, I had to cut bunches of, I have on one side of my porch there's a honeysuckle, and on the other side is a trumpet vine. And the honeysuckle was, because it's an old honeysuckle, so it's like, I don't know, 20 years old. So every end of winter I trim it down close to the roots so it can renew. And it has grown. It started putting new leaves out about a week ago, and it has grown about 6 feet already. And the trumpet vine was practically covering about 1/3 of my porch. I had to trim it all the way to the posts. But as I said, everything is crazy, and I got a lot of flowers blooming in my yard. I'm going to put out some more photos, and maybe I'll put some photos on the Facebook page of Kalyana. And what can I say? Again, it was not very conducive to me creating anything. What I can say is that for the first time in years and years and years and years, this whole bad weather gave me a lot of anxiety. I still remember that when we had the first tornadic storm that was like 2 weeks ago, my hands started shaking. I mean, I could barely type. I made my way. We are good. We are trying to survive. So I found myself in a little bit of a, not a pity pot, because I cannot call it a pity pot. It's not depression. It's not even. There is a little bit of anxiety there, but it's more like disorientation, because it's like on one I have all my underlying health issues, right? And then we have the whole COVID thing that's kind of petering out, but not entirely. Then we have the whole raising prices that keeps growing. Then, and believe me, I lived through inflation in Romania, and it was so bad at one point that um, it was better for you to buy groceries in the morning, because if you would wait until the afternoon, until you got off work, the prices would be higher. So, and I have to be honest and tell you that I was taking advantage of that, because I lived in an apartment building, and I don't know how it is now, but at the time in apartment buildings, you would get the the electricity. You would pay it by apartment. Okay, there would be a, you'd have a meter and everything, and the guy from the um, electric company would come to the door to read it, and you either paid him, or in later days you would go and they had an office, the closest office, you could go and pay your bill. But the heating and the water and sewer respectively was calculated by square footage, the heating, and the water by how many people lived in that apartment. And which I find, this is a Connor, which I find way better and more logic than the way that I pay here, because here I live in a house and I pay the exact same amount for sewage and trash as a family of 5 down the street. It gets to the point that my water bill, water usage is like $8, and everything till is just fees and sewer and garbage, and my water bill is $50. So anyway, so to get back to the hi Janine, hi Sandra, and to get back to the whole inflation thing, at the time I was paid in US dollars, and of course I would go and exchange at the bank when I needed the local Romanian currency. And what I was doing, I wouldn't pay, because you'd pay the gas and the water to the building's administration. There was always an administrator who was cashing the utilities. And I would not pay my water and gas bill when it was posted. I would wait until the end of the billing cycle, right the day before I would have to pay penalties, because within those 3 weeks, let's say that at the first of the month my water and gas bill was the equivalent of $100, but 3 weeks later it was the equivalent of $60. So yeah. Hi Ilianka, hi Hirasuna. So that is inflation, and as someone living through it, I know how bad it can get. And then there's also the supply chain, and there's a lot of stuff that you cannot find, yeah, here the heating gas went off the charts in January and February. It was like I paid more than double than I paid uh, last year. Actually, kind of like 4 times. To give you an example, for January, I used half the amount of gas that I used in January 2021, but my bill was a bit more than twice the bill I paid in January 2021. So it was like 4 times more expensive. Anyway, so as I was saying, is that, and then you have the whole Ukraine conflict and the whole rattling of the nuclear threat, and being a baby boomer, and all of you who are baby boomers, you know that that was the scare of our childhood and teenagehood. So kind of brings back memories and feelings of fear that you thought that they were, buried somewhere in the depth of your mind. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that um, can affect someone's creativity. So what I know from my cancer journey is that whenever a lot of things happen that are out of your control, that is when you are prone to lose focus, maybe even get depressed, but it heightens your anxiety to insane levels. And yeah, I'm 61 too. We didn't have drills like that in Eastern Europe, but there was still a lot of other stuff. Anyway, so what I learned from my cancer journey is that if you get into such a position that there's a lot of stuff that affects your life that you have no control over, you need to find something in your life that you can control. And the best thing is to start making a schedule and stick to it, because that is something that you can control. Yeah, I turned 61 in March. So we are a lot of 61s here, huh? Born in 61 and we are 61. So I decided starting Monday I'm going to make a schedule and try to stick to it as much as I can. Of course, it will be affected by weather. Twofold, because in my schedule I'm going to start again walking very early in the morning. I used to do that back in 2014 and 2015. That's when I lost a lot of weight, but when I started trying to lose weight again, I couldn't walk anymore because I was afraid of the whole COVID when it was at its peak. Goodness, Sharon. Oh, I had no idea that was your age. But anyway, as you know, it's normal that we are all baby boomers and maybe even older, because this is what my channel's directed to. It's for ladies our age mostly, or who have health issues that pose the same problems as aging poses. But anyway, as I was saying, the weather might impede it, so if it's bad, I wouldn't be able to walk early in the morning. And with the heat coming, probably I wouldn't be able to walk in the afternoon either. And the other thing is, bad weather, of course, raises my pain level, so I wouldn't be able to do that much. But I will try to keep as good to the schedule as I can. And the other thing that I want to do is not to get a big thing during a day, just to put like half an hour things to do followed by an hour of resting, and that way I can, I mean, even if I have, let's say I need to vacuum, instead of trying to vacuum the whole house, I'm going to just vacuum one room at a time. Yeah. Um, but that is the thing, that if you go through what I'm going, try and stick to it. I was thinking maybe to even start doing a little bit of journaling on Facebook about that. Thank you. It's self-cut. I always cut my hair myself. Uh, Hi, Car. And I'm Mona, then. I'm trying to go by your... This is why, a lot of people are asking me why when I try to register on your website, I have to give my YouTube or my Facebook ID. Well, because many of you do not use your name on YouTube. You use a nickname or some kind of fantasy, like Nutnuts, for example. Um, so that when you register on my website, I have no idea who you are, and you might tell me at one point in live chat, like Mona just did, but because of the fog brain I still have from chemo, you need to tell me several times, not at the same, not like Mona told me now, and then if you tell me 5 minutes later, probably by next Sunday I will forget. But if she tells me again next Sunday, and then maybe again one more Sunday, I will remember. Um, because the chemo brain, usually it's a little bit like Alzheimer's, so it affects um, a recent memory, but it also affects, I don't know, if you had cancer and if you had chemo, you know exactly what I'm talking about. For to give you an example, before cancer, before going through cancer treatment, I was a superb multitasker, and I'm not putting myself on a pedestal. It was one of my strengths in my career. I was able to do up to 7 things at the same time and not lose track. 8, I prefer to delegate, but 7, I was fine. Um, Now I am happy if I can um, focus on one thing. So, like now, I am trying to talk to you about things, or in a regular Sunday, I'm trying to show you stuff. And yes, I discuss with you on chat, and I register what's going on chat, but it's my brain kind of puts it in the back because I have to focus on what I'm telling you or what I'm showing you. And if I only hear or see it once, I might forget it. But if I see it 2 or 3 times, then I do remember. So if you see that I'm still not using your name, even if you told me once, if you don't have your nickname on YouTube as your actual name, please don't think that I don't care about you. It's just that it's something beyond my control. And you need to please bear with me and help me remember you. Um, oh yeah, don't tell me about that. I cannot tell you how many times I found myself staring in the fridge like a hen in the wood stack, trying to figure out what I was looking for there. And then maybe 5 minutes later I was like, oh, my keys, my car keys. And of course, they wouldn't be in the fridge. Sometimes I would put them in the fridge. So, uh, hi, Karen. So yeah, it's. But yeah, if you think that it might help you, if you're going, if you're experiencing at least part of what I'm experiencing right now, I might start doing a little bit of blogging on Facebook. I'm not sure if on my on my Kalyana page or on my personal profile. And my personal profile is public. I mean, people who have befriended me know and can notice that pretty much all my posts are public. I don't really have posts that are not public. So even if I decide to do it on my profile, and if you don't want to befriend me, you can just click that follow if you want to participate to my journey. So I thought that maybe if other people have at least partially the issues that I'm having right now, it might help them, and we might just go together. Maybe we can even have at one point some, because on Facebook now you can, if I'm not mistaken, you can invite other people in your live. So yeah, my hair is still a little bit wet. Sorry, that's why it's so normally it goes like this, and I didn't want to brush it before the live because I didn't want to have to spend time to tame it, because if I brush it now it goes rip, and I need to kind of tame it a little bit. But yeah, if you have gray hair and you like this look, it's not Furia, it's not nothing. It is a I'm actually getting them separately. I'm getting the Wella 40 developer, so the 40 strength. And then this is the color is the Wella Frost Ash. And let me give you the number. Give me just a second. Let me get it from my okay. It's 12A Frosty Ash, and I get it from Amazon, and I usually with short hair like this. Let's see. Normally I have a share thing here, but I guess it doesn't show right now. Hopefully the YouTube will allow me. But what happens with this color, if you use it like this and you do have gray hairs, it will lighten up the darker hair, but it will still color it. And this is how you get all these different strands of color. And you know that normally natural blonde is not even. It has different strands of different colors. So yeah, if you want to try it, you go ahead and try it. And I've been doing haircuts since I was in my teens. I don't know, I just have a knack for it. I've been doing haircuts on everybody around me, including guys. So yeah, I thank God I don't have hearing issues, but you all know all my other problems. And I think I'm developing a little bit of ADD because, but I'm not entirely sure if it is ADD, because sometimes when I want to work on something, I would be working, and at one point I'm like, ugh, and I just leave it. But considering I don't do that when I binge watch a series, maybe it's not ADD. It's just, the whole crappy times. um, where I'm going. Well, I used to have very long hair, and I mean very long. It was down to my hips. And before I went to chemo, through chemo, I had all my friends. We had a big party here at my house, and with champagne and everything. And I had, because my fear was that if my hair was long and it was very heavy, then it would fall more, you know, and maybe destroy the follicles. So I had a haircut party. So all my friends each cut a piece of my hair. I still have photos from it. And then I let it grow back. Actually, if you give me a second, I can show you. Let's see. Because I think I'm not sure, I think I showed you my chemo thing. I took photos pretty much every month at the same time. So there we go. So this was the last, after the last chemo treatment. And it took a while before it started growing, but at one point, like here, I had like a mohawk, but not even like a mohawk. I looked like a baby elephant. And then it started growing with a lot of gray, and I had like, so this was 3 months after I finished chemo. I had like a ton of cowlicks. I had at least a dozen cowlicks all around my head. So this is my whole hair growing back story, and it got very curly, and I couldn't do anything to it. I mean, it just wanted to be in. And finally in March, so here we are like 7 months after I finished chemo, I was able to dye it. And then in April it started to take off, and I looked fairly normal, and I even had ladies stopping me on the street to ask me where I was going to do my hair like that, because the tips were very frosty. Because the first time I had, when the hair first came, started growing, it was kind of like peach fuzz. So this is actually a year later. So, and a year and a month later, so it started growing properly. So then it grew very long. Hi Anna. And hold on, let me get back to how it looked after, because I have the photos with my weight loss journey thing, and just get to them. And it was, I mean, all my life I had my hair a little bit curly, right? And is it here? No. But it got, at one point it got like, you know, the so-called Irish curl, the ringlets, you know, and this is how it pretty much got, and I had to work hard on it. So there you go, this is my documented weight loss. I was wearing the same exact clothing so that it can be noticeable, but you see how and I had to change the clothing at one point because it was getting too much for me. But Anyway, I think I can still do it. So, yeah. So I'm going to try to do that scheduling thing, and maybe that will help me be able to focus more on stuff without getting. It's not that I'm getting. It's not laziness. It's not actually not really that I lack focusing. It's like, I cannot deal with this right now. If that makes any sense to you. It's like I have to keep moving around in order to be able to deal with things, and it's been crazy. But yes, I was able briefly Tuesday to work on a few things, and hopefully by next Saturday, if I'm able to catch up on what I have to do around the house, and with my new schedule, Saturday afternoon I should be able to do a destash. And a friend suggested me that maybe you should do a sale every month around when you do your chat, with the stuff that you made and experimented and just made for yourself during that month, so that you don't get again overwhelmed and with all kinds of things all around. And I know that there are a few ladies who have asked me to. No, I don't have that. I don't do the I'll think about it tomorrow, because the other thing that I learned, and not I learned, I realized when I was 16 years old, almost 16, was like a week before I turned 16, that tomorrow may never come. And that was when, in 1977, the famous for the area, for the people who can still remember it, the 1977 Vrancea earthquake, that was a initially considered 7.2, and then 7.4, that lasted 1 minute and 21 seconds. That was a long earthquake and very, very violent. There were a lot of people who died, not just in Bucharest, but in other cities. And there was a town in Romania that was kind of like 80% destroyed. So that is when I realized that tomorrow may never come. And that made me all my life wanting to experience and to learn as much as I could. So that is what completely changed my view on life, and the thing that if there's something to be done, that has to be done, or that you want to do it now, because you don't know what tomorrow may bring. And then throughout my life, I had another, and I've been talking about them some from time to time. I had other life-threatening. What are you doing? Leave him alone. Seamus tried to come to me, and Finnegan, jealousy, Finnegan stopped him. Other life-threatening and life-changing issues. So right now, that's how I am. If something needs to be done, I try to take care of it right then. There are times when I have to delay because of pain or because of fatigue, but those are not things that are immediately important. I mean, to put it this way, if I need to vacuum or to dust and I'm in a lot of pain or I'm very tired, uh, then that I can postpone for the next day. But if I have, let's say, I noticed something wrong with one of my bills and I need to call the company, I will do it right away. I don't let stuff like that go by, you know. I mean, stuff that needs immediate attention, I will give it immediate attention. Dusting can wait another day. Feeding the kitties or cleaning the litter box cannot wait another day. That's the type of, um, or going to the doctor for a specific thing. If I have a new pain, I'm not going to say, oh, I'll go tomorrow, oh, maybe I'll go next week, oh, no. Because life taught me that, and I learned that it's not a good thing. Yeah, that is why, because I still want to create. I'm not yet to the point where I cannot do anything. Because remember, when I opened the channel, I said, I want to share what I know, and I want to be able to create while I still can. Because remember, I have degenerative osteoarthritis in my neck, in my cervical spine, and it affects my hands, and it will slowly affect them more until I will not have fine control anymore, and I won't be able to do this kind of stuff. So yeah. But I still want to do all this stuff, so I need to get back on track amidst all this. I'm going to try catch him again. All this craziness that's around the world. Come here. I got him. I got him. The baby. The fuzzy baby. Who's my sweet pea? Who's my sweet pea? He is just too fluffy. He's so fluffy. This is his tail. And this is whole Finnegan, who is very tiny under all this fluff. He's allowing himself to be admired right now. Yes? Are you precious? Are you pretty? Oh, my little Finnegan. Yes, he's got a mane, in case you didn't realize. He has a very long mane. The hair on his mane is up to 6 inches long. Yes, I love you too. I do. He needs to pet. Both him and Connor pet my face. Yes, okay, I'll let you go. Finnegan. Opa. There we go. And yes, he does have fluffy breeches. Yeah. So, yeah, the schedule will be in short spurts of activity, followed by time for recuperate. And hopefully that will help me get better on track. And then the other thing, how can I say it? There's some stuff that, yeah, can be a blow, but you can rally yourself and deal with it. And there's other stuff that kind of, it's like, that Chinese drip. Yes, he is. Thank you for admiring Finnegan. He's the little apple of my eye. He's my sweet pea right now. But what I was saying, there are some things that kind of, there are little things, but they keep nipping at you, and until they get you all irritated. It's like when you're getting hungry, And one of the things, and I've been noticing this happening way before the pandemic, it's, the whole atmosphere in the United States, and not just in the United States, in the rest of the world, but most of it, mostly the United States. Um, I think that this whole atmosphere is the result of all that. Um, it's quality of services being eroded. Yeah, exactly. Nibbled to death by dogs. It's quality services being eroded. I mean, when almost every time you order delivery for your groceries, something is wrong. Um, Almost every time you go to the grocery store, you know there are things you will not find, or you will not be able to afford because the price has gone so high. Or you know that if you call customer service for a certain company, you're going to have to wait, and then you're going to have to deal first with the CSR who has no idea what they're doing, and then you're going to have to escalate in order to get your, I mean, stuff like that. And it just nips at you and just makes you grumpy and irritable, and and doesn't help when it's woven through all the other stuff that's happening. And that is why I absolutely need to do something, because first initially I thought, well, what if I just try to stick to crafting something, and then no, because my crafting is affected by this. So trying to get control of something that already I don't have control over is not a good thing. So I need to focus on to take a completely different approach and try to bring some control overall in my life, because those are things I can control. Yeah, I hear you. I absolutely hear you. But anyway, so this is my what? He's not getting attention. In case you didn't hear him, he is right behind me, wailing that he's bored. He does that. He sometimes goes in the middle of a room and starts wailing at the walls that he's so bored. Come here, Finnegan. Finnegan, come here. Come to Mama. Come on. Come to Mama. So anyway, and I hope that if there are any of you who do feel the same, you might join me in my journey, or might just watch me, and maybe that inspires you a little bit. The whole thing, and I don't know how many of you remember that in the beginning of my channel, in 2017 in fall, I did a pep talk video that was oh God, what was it? Give me a second. What was the title of it? It was about kindness. There was a movement on YouTube, and it was about kindness. Hold on, I can search it because it was towards the beginning. So hey, Finnegan! He just jumped Seamus. So let me see. Comment kindness. Okay, it was a campaign, and that was calling for whenever you comment on a video, try to think about all the effort that artists goes through when they are doing their videos and everything, and try to be kind when you comment. So if you want to rewatch that, and the whole purpose of it is that I go into a little bit of psychology. I went into a little bit of psychology in that video, and I showed how not just the mood, but the whole take on life of somebody depends on a purpose. And generally, the two main things that define that purpose, that purpose can be of two kinds, and one of them is creation and the other one is nurturing. And I talked in that video how I've met in my life people who actually kind of lost themselves. Shut up! Kind of lost themselves, and almost you can say that they died of a broken heart because they lost their purpose. I mean, I knew this lady who took care of her disabled mother for like 15 years. And this lady was like 5 years older than me. Anyway, and at one point, her mother died. And she went into a deep depression, hypochondria, all that. And she was gone within 2 years because she had lived the last years of her life with her whole purpose being nurturing, taking care of her mother. And once that purpose was gone, she wasn't able to find another purpose. And having a purpose is exceptionally important for our mental well-being. And exactly, people don't even try to be nice anymore. And back in 2011-ish, 2012, when I was kind of done with surgeries and I was able to do again some physical effort and stuff, I started focusing on my garden. Goodness, now he's barking and running around the house. But then towards 2016, I realized that I wasn't able anymore to do the gardening that I used to, because gardening requires work. So what I did, because I used to have a beautiful cottage garden, I showed you photos of that at one point or another, and I moved everything that was perennial, almost everything that was perennial, from the backyard to the front yard, and I just made 3 flower beds with all of that, so that in the backyard I still have some roses and some hazelnut bushes, some elderberry bushes, I mean stuff that I couldn't move, and Japanese lilac tree bush kind of thing. And then I have a lot of German garlic and some strawberries that are left. But anyway, I wasn't able to do the nurturing, but for the moment, it worked great. So the other thing is in this scheduling, and as I go advance in age, I realize that instead of going, oh my God, before it would take me one day to clean the house top to bottom, including washing the walls and the trims and the windows and everything, and now I vacuum the living room and then I need an hour to recover. But the thing is different, you kind of need to turn it 180 degrees, because the thing is, I managed to vacuum the living room with all my issues. I am still able to take care of myself. I know that probably I will end up in an assisted facility, but as long as I can still take care of myself, that is a huge achievement. As long as I can still clean my house by myself, as long as I can still take care of myself and of the kitties and still able to do stuff, every single thing, when you are aging and you have health issues, every single thing is a big achievement. Even if you're talking about washing the dishes, or I don't know, being able to take a bath by yourself without assistance. Uh, from the outside and from somebody who never experienced it, oh, that's so sad. No, it's not sad. It's a celebration. Yes, I can still do it. Yes, I can still move forward. I'm not going to allow myself to be broken and to be down. So that is the whole deal. But the only thing is that if you want to do something about yourself, then you have to do something about yourself, because nobody else can do it but you. And I think I said it before, except for people who do have chemical imbalances in the brain, I personally am, and of course, except for people who are going through grieving, and need a help to get over the bump, or went through traumatic experiences. But I generally and personally, I am against antidepressant medication, because, how can I put it? To give you my example, and again, it does not apply to anybody else. I'm not judging. I'm not saying this is what you should do or this is what you shouldn't do. I'm saying what I do. So in the beginning, when I started going to pain management, and they wanted me to try all the antidepressant medication, and yes, I did try all of them. They didn't work on my pain. They affected my eyes. They were giving me blurred vision, and they were also making me very dizzy and sleepy. I told the doctor, sir, I need pain management so that I can still have a life. If you're giving me antidepressants that make me sleep all day and unable to live my life, then thank you. I don't need them. I have the pain that doesn't, it's useless for me. So please give me something that would help me move and do stuff. If you don't work on the cause, the effect will be permanent. You cannot work on the effect and remove it. You're going to have to go ahead and treat the effect for the rest of your life if you don't work on the cause, on what is causing that effect. So I don't know. I don't like this whole thing of positivity. I hate the whole thing of positivity. It's like, when I had cancer and people are like, oh, you need to be positive. Yeah, I'm positive I have cancer and I'm positive that it sucks. I think it's just a matter of realism. This is the problem. This is the problem you need to deal with. Like they were telling, oh, you are so brave. No, I'm not. I'm just trying to survive through this. What the heck do you want me to do? Go and sit in the middle of the street and wait to die? No, this is just life and you need to deal with it. It's just acceptance. Accepting that this is happening and accepting that you need to do something about it and actually do something about it. It's not, as I said, I hate this whole be positive thing. No. It's not yes, awareness, and that would be the best thing, awareness and self-management. And I know that there are a lot of people who cannot do that. I am completely aware of that. I know that it takes, um, for one thing, people who do not have a good image of themselves, and people who do not have self-respect, and people who have problems on about loving themselves, they will not be able to do that. They would require a lot of therapy to get to this point. And I'm not judging. I know that we are all different. We are all dealing with things differently. What I'm saying, that the reality is that bad things happen, and you need to try to deal with them, either by trying to take control, and if you cannot take control, try to adapt to live with whatever's going on in a way that is the best for you without harming others, if that makes any sense. So, anyway, tomorrow we are going to continue on the sphere thing, and then I don't know, I'll probably do some in the future. We'll do some, I mean, next Sunday we'll do some flowers or something, or maybe a flower cane. So, yeah, this doesn't help me, trust me, it doesn't help. It's nerve pain, with the nerve being crushed, and not only the nerve, but I have what's called anterolisthesis. That means that the vertebrae have slipped, so I have some areas where my spinal cord is being strangled. Yeah, I take kratom too. It helps me as well. I take the red maengda for pain, and sometimes white maengda for focus. And I do have a very good supplier. I'm not sure if I can tell on YouTube who it is, because kratom is still it's in some states it's not legal. So if you want me to give you where I get mine, just message me on Facebook on Kalyana. So anyway, I am going to sign out too, because I need to rest a little bit. I have at 4:30 I have the live for my sponsors, and then I will see you tomorrow at 12:30 Central Time as usual, and we're gonna make some beautiful sphere covering. Okay? Thank you so much, and don't forget to thumbs up, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a wonderful Saturday.